Why does Tabitha have bruises up and down her legs and her arms and a black eye?
No idea.
This pastor says he's got no idea how his children were abused. But as soon as investigators leave the room, he changes this tune. Today's topic is pretty heartbreaking. We're talking about some gruesome child abuse, where a pastor allegedly locked his kids in the bathroom for days without food and beat them with a belt and a slab of wood. Today's story takes us back to the start of last year in Blackwell, Oklahoma, which is a pretty small city and it's near the Kansas border. That's where Pastor Keith Holt lived with his wife, Candy Holt, and their 8 children. It's a pretty big family, but it's a blended one. Some of the kids were Keith's biological kids, and others were Candy's nieces. 3 of their other kids had been placed in their custody after both of their biological parents died within a few months of each other, so the Holts became their guardians. In mid-January of last year, 5 of the children came forward to police describing some pretty intense abuse. All of their stories matched up. And what's more than all this, the kids had bruises on their bodies. Doctors later determined that these bruises were in fact a result of child abuse. Both Keith and Candy were arrested in their home on January 16th. Here's what all that looked like.
Right now, you both are going to be under arrest for child abuse and can go with these 2 gentlemen. And all 8 children are now in protective custody. We will have a conversation when I get to the police department.
Okay.
Okay, I know you're gonna be nice, so I'm gonna put it in front for you, okay? That sound good?
Get some shoes here.
Please, can I sit down before you put the other one on?
What are you needing?
I'm just getting my shoes out of that front
Are
one.
they-
I can
Oh,
grab
you
them.
could probably.
Yeah, I'll just put them up front so it's more comfortable for you, okay?
This is what I do. I take care of kids. That's all my education. That's everything I've ever done. And this is absurd. It is not fair.
All right, I know you're multitasking when you're watching our videos, but if you're out running errands, listen up. I have to tell you about this free app called Upside. It actually gets you cash back on daily essentials. I use Upside every time I pump my gas because it's easy and it's free, so why not? Here's what you do. Download the Upside app and claim an offer for whatever you're buying. Pay as usual and simply follow the steps on the app to get paid. To find out how much you could earn, click the link in the description to download Upside or scan the QR code on your screen and use our promo code Bodycam to get an extra 25 cents back on every gallon on your first tank of gas. Just one day after their arrests, both Candy and Keith Holt talked to investigators. They first began by questioning Candy.
Today, in this room, we're going to talk about some things, and how you answer those questions could impact the rest of your life. You understand that?
Yes.
These are serious allegations.
Okay.
So I need you to be honest with me.
Yeah.
She tells investigators Keith does hit the kids, but rarely. She says it's only a pat on the butt, and it doesn't leave behind any bruising.
Me personally, now they're older, I don't strip them down and look at them. But I've never seen him out of control. But when he goes to spank the children, they're in a private room.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dining room, we make sure there's no kids around or anything like that.
Why would all 5 of the older kids all have the exact same story?
As far as
Being hit with a 2x2 that they showed me was behind your TV. All 5 of them.
No.
They're all telling the exact same story, separate, of being hit with that piece of wood.
I have never seen him hit them with that piece of wood. I'm be honest with you. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying I have not seen him hit them. The only thing I've seen him hit them with is the belt.
Pretty soon into this interview, investigators bring up some pretty serious allegations.
What about Beth getting locked in the bathroom for 3 days?
No, never happened.
So they're all the kids are lying about that.
I don't know what's going on, but Beth ain't never been locked in a bathroom for 3 days. None of them. That doesn't even make any sense to me personally.
It's just hard to believe that all 5 of them would have the exact same story
Well, that's
over multiple incidents. You know, Tabitha getting hit up to 40 times with a piece of wood because you accused her of stealing makeup. See, you've never seen Keith hit the kids?
I've seen Keith spank the kids. Oh, yes. On the butt. One at a time because we don't discipline in front of each other. And that's it. I've never seen him hit him with a piece of wood. I've never seen him other than the belt. I'm dead honest. And that is so rare.
At one point, investigators leave the room. Candy's on her own, and she starts praying out loud.
Oh, dear Jesus. Protect those kids. Please protect them. Please protect them no matter what, God. No matter what.
But when investigators come back in, they press Candy even more.
I don't think you're being 100% honest with me.
I don't know what to say.
I think there's a lot of stuff that's going on in that house that maybe you turn a blind eye to, is what I think. I think there's stuff that has happened that you may not have necessarily witnessed, but you know and can hear that it's going on. Some of the beatings, because here's the thing. When we take those kids to the child abuse specialist and they say, yeah, they've got bruises that are consistent with child abuse. That's hard to get past. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
because the problem is they're gonna come to court when all this goes to court, and they're gonna testify that these bruises are consistent with child abuse. What I mean by what I'm saying is I think there's stuff going on in that house that you know about, but maybe haven't seen. Maybe you've heard it, and you've got an idea that it's going on, but he's the sole provider for the house. You have all these children. You're not going to rock the boat either. Now's the time to tell us.
What I know is after hearing all this, because I hadn't heard it before. I swear to God, I haven't heard any of this before.
Investigators didn't get that much from Candy in their interview. And at the start of their interview with Pastor Keith, they don't get much there either.
Your relationship with the 8 kids, what kind of, you get along with them? Is it pretty good? Would you consider it a good relationship with all of them?
Yeah. Me and the boys go fishing when we get a chance, and me and John killed a deer here 5-6 years back. The 3 little ones, they're just, of course, they're 3 babies.
Right.
Then CJ, now CJ's he's a little autistic.
Mm-hmm.
He can't hardly talk, and he's rambunctious.
Mm-hmm.
CJ gets into everything. He's a jack of all trades. If he can't get into this, he's turning the water on, or he's doing something. He's active.
Are they pretty trustworthy kids?
I would say so. Junior and Timmy, they both work at Brahms.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy and my daughter Elizabeth, they're both not homeschooled, but virtual. They do virtual school. Junior has already graduated. That's Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
He's already graduated.
So Keith says he trusts the kids and that they wouldn't lie, but he does admit to spanking them. He says it hardly happens though.
When was the last time you think you had to spank one of the kids?
Oh, it's been months, maybe even over a year that I had to spank one.
So you haven't spanked the kids at all at this house?
At this house? I can't recollect that I have.
The questions get more serious from here, and Keith has kind of a weird reaction to this next part. Take a listen. You can actually hear him laugh, and then you can see him covering up his mouth.
So if someone said that you beat the kids with a 2x2 board, would that... Why would someone say that?
Why would anybody say that?
Especially...
To a kid.
Well, it's coming from the kids. They're the ones that are saying that. All 5 of the older kids.
Said that I beat them with a 2x2 board.
And they provided me the board. that was behind the TV?
That I beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Have you hit
never-
them with that board?
I've never beat them with the
Have
board.
Have you hit them with that board?
I did John.
So when
I
you
did
said that,
John.
so when you said that you hadn't spanked anybody in over a year, that was not a truthful statement.
To my right, I wasn't.
Here's the thing, partner. We're gonna tell it to you very, very simple. Okay. We know a little bit more than what you think we do. We're just asking for your cooperation. Be honest with us. I mean, he's asking you all these questions because we kind of already know the answer to a lot of them. We're just trying to get you to be as honest as you can to help yourself out. Okay? So when you said that you haven't spanked anybody in a year, that was not a correct statement, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay. And then
And thinking back, yeah, I had to spank John and I had to spank Beth.
Do you remember an incident where Tabitha was accused of stealing Candy's makeup? It was on a church Sunday before y'all were going to church on a Sunday morning. Within the last probably month or so.
Yeah.
Did Tabitha get spanked for that?
I believe she did.
What would she have got spanked with? Would that been with the 2x2 or with the belt or?
I'm not for sure.
Okay. If the kids told me that she got hit upwards of 40 times because she wouldn't admit to stealing it, would that be them lying?
That
Or
would
is
be
it,
them lying, because I've never hit more than 3 to 4. 4 at the most, 3 was usually what it was.
why do you think the kids would come together and come up with this if this isn't kind of a true thing? What would be their motive, do you think, that all 5 of the older kids would come together?
I had no idea.
Investigators asked Keith about the bathroom incident shoot, the one where the kids were apparently locked inside for days.
Do you remember, was there ever an incident that where someone at the church one of the kids was accused of telling someone at church about some stuff that went on at the house and they got punished for that? Does that ring any bells?
I don't remember.
Beth getting locked in a bathroom for 3 days, no food and water?
No.
Why would Beth say that?
We never did lock her in the bathroom.
Was she in the bathroom?
To my knowledge, she wasn't. We've never locked the kids in the bathroom.
And other kids saying they had to sneak her food because y'all wasn't letting her eat or come out of there for 3 days?
Nope.
I just don't understand why 5 kids that you and Candy have both said that are trustworthy kids, why they would come together and all concoct this wild story of all these separate incidences if it's not true. You know, I mean, I don't have an explanation why they do that. Do you have one?
No.
but they're pretty trustworthy, right?
I mean,
They've been known to lie. Like any kid.
Like anybody.
Like anybody.
I mean, you've told us 3 or 4 things in here that we've proven to not be true.
I didn't lie to you on purpose.
Well, I
It's
didn't,
just I didn't recollect, and then
purpose or not.
when
I
you
mean,
when you reminded me of it, then yeah.
you know, because
Okay.
you told us, you know, initially that you hadn't spanked anybody at the house in Blackwell, or you hadn't spanked anybody with the belt at the house in Blackwell, but we've got incidents where there was one girl that got beat up to 4 times in a day.
About 30 minutes into the interview, Keith finally admits he may have abused the kids.
Is it possible that these kids get spanked so much that you just can't keep track of how many times and which one?
They're good kids.
But is it possible that you've spanked them so much that you don't remember each time?
It's possible.
That
I don't think it is,
that they
but-
get spanked so many times that you can't track I spanked this kid, I spanked that kid, I did this kid, I spanked this kid with the board, this kid got the belt. Is it possible that there's so much of that going on that you can't track it all? Is that possible?
It's possible.
But when investigators ask for more specifics, Keith goes back to denying this abuse.
Why does Tabitha have bruises up and down her legs and her arms and a black eye?
No idea. Haven't touched her. Do know she fell down the stairs. And
When was that?
That's been a couple months back.
These are fresh bruises.
That I have no idea.
They're still visible bruises, and the bruises are at different stages of healing. So they're from multiple incidents. She's went to a child abuse expert, and they are consistent with child abuse.
I haven't touched her. I haven't put no bruises on her like that.
You've never spanked her?
I spanked her on the butt, and
Do you-
we already told
Right,
her that.
okay, so
But
let me ask you, hold on. You spank her on the butt. How do you know you're not leaving bruises? Do you check?
no,
No.
I'm not
So it's
doing that.
possible that you're leaving bruises on her when you're spanking her, correct?
On her butt, maybe, but I'm not leaving bruises nowhere else.
But
When investigators leave the room, Keith starts talking to himself, and it's honestly kind of shocking. He's whispering, but in this next clip, he says, quote, "Wife turned against me."
Wife turned against me.
A few seconds later, he speaks to himself once again.
You're the one that caused it.
Keith Holt now faces 3 counts of child abuse and another count of child neglect. He's set to go to jury trial on February 25th. Reporting for Law&Crime, I'm Gillespie.